the Mississagi River holds a special place in our hearts. I basically grew up in the river valley. I'd visit here weekly with my grandparents, paddling, fishing, and swimming in its waters. I built memories of this river while the river helped build me.
We paddle different sections of this river as often as we can, several times a year. It's like coming home. We feel like a part of the river, and the river is a part of who we are.
It's for this reason that we wanted to get to know the river in her entirety.
From her headwaters at Mississagi Lake, all the way down to her delta at Lake Huron.
And all parts in between.
Through her almost 300-kilometer course, the river goes from a trickle to a torrent.
From serene to tumultuous.
From a mere stream to a vast, expansive lake.
But always wild.
This is the Mississagi River.
From headwaters to Huron. So here we are on Spanish Lake. We're at the headwaters of both the mighty Mississagi River and the Spanish River, and we are going to be performing a feat. Over 300 kilometers, and we have up to 10 days to get it done on the Mississagi River from headwaters to Lake Huron. Hope that you can join us and hope you enjoy yourself. Are you excited, Cher?
I am. Wish us luck.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, the trees.
So it's the very first port of the year, which usually kicks my butt a little bit because we single carry, but we're easing in. It's only 150 meters. Here we are down at the end of Bardney Lake. It was a nice paddle, pretty calm. It's big water, but we had a beautiful paddle. And this trail here is blocked by a downed jack pine, but it's pretty good size, so we don't want to cut it. So we're going to try to walk around it. Day one of a trip, of a 10-day trip, and we're packed like mules. But we're still going to try to single carry it.
And we're on vacation, so
yay!
Good.
Vacation. Good one. So it just ended up being so much blow down across the trail that a single carry didn't make sense. So did some clearing with the pack on and cleared the rest, coming back, and then now going up this steep 450 meter port.
What's this bag?
That's my clothes.
Holy.
Holy.
Oh, how the tables have turned.
Oh, how they have.
Not funny.
I would prefer that the rain come down this way, but you know what I mean? Sometimes the best anchor points are actually exposed roots. So the tie around them doesn't hurt the tree, and they are solid.
Once it gets wet.
I don't think you keep it dry, man.
Hi, friends.
So we're here. We've made camp here on Sulphur Lake. We got here about 5. We started paddling, I'm going to say around 1.
Yes. Yeah.
We're just getting a light sprinkle, which I'm sure you can hear on our tarp, which is no big deal. But yeah, it's just around, what, 5:30 now, Sean?
Yeah.
5:45. This was our intended goal for today. And we were going to push through to another lake, but Sherry talked some sense into me and just said, hey, we're on vacation, let's not push it.
Yeah, I mean, and we were able to get our camp set up, and our tent is set up, and the tarp is set up before it started raining. So, I mean, we're in good shape. We're just gonna hang out.
Yeah, hopefully this rain dies down. It seems like it's going to probably just pass over us not too long from now, and we can have a fire and start cooking dinner.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a campfire. It was interesting to see the trees just starting to turn.
Just starting to open their buds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the first ones are usually the aspen or the poplar, and then a few days, less like a week maybe behind that is the birch. And yeah, the aspen are just starting to open up now, so maybe by the time we're done, we're going to be hundreds of kilometers south. So they will be open, because we know where we're from, where we live, they were all open. Mm-hmm. Even the maples are open now. So yeah, interesting. We drove north for 4 hours today.
Yeah.
To get here. And now we canoe back. Sometimes you wonder how the heck you fit it all into the canoe, and every time it seems like it's not going to fit, but it ends up fitting, and we carry it on our backs in a single trip. We must kind of know what we're doing. Plan for today, we are here on Sulphur Lake. We have just a little 200-meter portage into a pond, and then this is that arduous 1 kilometer port over very steep terrain, and then another couple of little hops into Mississagi Lake, which is going to have us paddle for a fair little bit into Upper Green Lake. Once we're in Upper Green Lake, this is pretty good big water, so then we're coming down here. There's a possible 90-meter portage over some rapids, but the water's high enough that might just be a paddle through. And then there's a port here down into Shangwish Lake, and then another quick lift over some rapids here that might be runnable for us, through into Limit Lake. Limit Lake is our ultimate destination for today at the very least. So that's the plan for today. We'll see how it goes. All right, so our first port of the day, it's just 200 meters. Despite all the blowdown and my best judgment, we're going to try to single carry this one, but expect to run into more blowdown. But first 50 meters are open in this one, so there were a few small ones, but this is what I kind of expected to run into, so I have to put the canoe down and clear.
This is a little bit sketchy. I see wet boots in our forecast.
So as we had suspected, there was too much blowdown to make a single carry make any sense. Sharon and I arrived to that creek. We just dropped the canoe and finished with the packs, clearing only what we had to with the packs on, and then we got to the end. We came back and cleared the rest. So now it's easy going for us, and especially easy going for the next party to come through. I was saying before, single carrying portages only really makes sense if the trails are clear. It's early May, although it feels like 2 weeks later, just because of the weird weather we've been having. Still, nobody else has been through here yet this year. We just cleared that up, so that's just a step over. I imagine people come through here with chainsaws periodically. Toughest part is behind us of the whole trip. Sharon and I are finally on Mississagi Lake. I'm not sure if you can even hear me because we are having some severe headwinds, reminiscent but not nearly as bad as our Steel River trip, which check that one out if you already haven't. So we're racing across Mississagi Lake to get to what we hope is a lee side so that we can be sheltered by the shore and the trees, and then make our way down Mississagi and maybe stop for lunch where the Mississagi meets Upper Green Lake. There's a lodge there so we can pull over and have some lunch and hang out. And we're pretty stoked to be here in Grey Owl Country at the very headwaters, the beginning of our favorite river. That's okay. Yeah, the river will take us. We should be good. Yep. Yeah, so then after this, go right. Paddle hard, paddle hard, paddle hard. Perfect. And then drop. Perfect. So we are here where Mississagi Lake meets Upper Green Lake. There's a lodge. We're going to have some lunch. But as we were afraid of, because we've got a southwesterly wind today, this is what we're up against on Upper Green Lake. So we've taken some shelter behind the main lodge here to have some lunch and talk about strategy. We don't have too much longer to go today to reach our goal. Just a handful more portages and a fair amount of portaging, but not on such big water as this. And so the wind shouldn't be a major factor, but here it is a major factor, so we're going to have some decision making to do.
We're just getting ready to head out onto the windy lake. We're hoping to get around the point where it will be less windy, and then we're heading toward another portage and then downriver.
These are conditions that we wouldn't normally say we'd put our canoe out in, but having done the Steel River last year, we know that we can control our canoe and we can move forward in high waves and high winds if we do it a certain way and we just put our nose down and do it.
Yeah, and stay close to shore.
Stay close to shore, be as safe as we can, and we're just going to poke our nose out at the river mouth and see what it feels like. And if it doesn't feel good, we hunker down here. It doesn't look like the wind's going to get any better, so we'll just lose a half a day travel due to the wind, and that's what you have to come to expect sometimes. Okay, babe, so we're just gonna stay tight to the shore. Frustrating, eh? So gang, we're here at the end of Kashbagama Lake.
Oh, thank God. Yes.
There's a lodge on this lake and they've got a bunch of equipment here. And curiously, we just don't get it, how there's so much garbage left behind. There's too much garbage for us to pack up and take out with us. We've got 8 days of a trip left, so we can't. But there is a lodge here, so I assume the lodge owner is coming back to clean it up. But like, why would you clog up a portage with garbage?
Yeah, if you can carry it in, you can carry it in.
Especially if you have a motorboat. Anyway, I don't want to get into it. This 300-meter portage into Shangwish Lake, and then just a quick liftover type portage, 30 meters into our lake for the evening, which is Limit Lake. And we are racing a little bit against time here because we have what looks like some rain chasing us down from the west.
Again.
We're going to be at camp, I'd say, in an hour and a half, maybe.
Yay!
Mark my words. What time is it?
Oh, 2:30.
2:30. Oh, geez. So maybe 4:30, maybe 2 hours. I don't want to get there too early. Cher just told me we're having chickpea curry for dinner tonight. So we're laughing, friends. Last we checked in, we were probably still paddling through steady rain and sideways wind. I guess that's been our day today, but we found our site on Limit Lake, which was the lake that we had planned to be on today. Mm-hmm. We came to the first site that we saw and we checked it out, and we saw the weather was about to get worse, so we decided to make this site work.
I think it was a good decision. We got the tent set up and the tarps up before it started raining, so we had a little shelter and time to have some food.
If you recall, Sherry was so kind to tell me, and I was so excited to hear that we were having chickpea curry for dinner tonight.
Yes.
Well, Jay happened. So, as happens when you're scrambling, trying to ready things, I tipped over the meal onto the ground. So Sherry had chickpea curry, and I enjoyed an OTG meal. She was kind enough to share. But boy, was that a frustrating time. I've made up a few new words when that happened, I'll tell you. I'm a little bit sore.
Yeah, we did a lot of paddling against tough winds today, so my shoulders are sore. My hands were really cold, but we had some coffee mocha to warm us up, so that was good. So we're good. I think it's just all part of the first paddle of the year. Gotta get the muscles back into shape, but we're doing good.
Yeah, we happened to make that first paddle, not 30K, but 300 some odd K, but sometimes we like to go both feet in. So we are in Grey Owl country. So Cher's, I've read this book and it's one of my favorites. Cher's digging in, and what are you thinking so far?
It's interesting. He has great insights, considering he wrote these books almost 100 years ago. It's interesting to read, and it's very cool to be in the same area that he was a lot of his life. So.
It is wet. It rained pretty much all last night with the raging wind, but our setup held tight, so this is good. All the wood we stashed underneath stayed pretty dry, but this is not as dry as it could be. But luckily there was a birch tree nearby that had some fallen bark that stayed pretty dry overnight. You can see it's awfully smoky. That's because it's so wet. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Morning.
So we're here on this absolutely magical morning on Limit Lake. Everything's a bit wet. It was pretty tough getting this fire going. Well, keeping it going, let's say. But we got it. We have our coffee. We have Sherry's famous. I'm going to do my best to make it famous. I say it every time. Sherry's famous quinoa porridge. And then we're going to try to get a pretty early start today to beat whatever weather's going to come at us. Because we've got a long day. We need to get
30 kilometers.
Which I don't think is going to be difficult for us. Because some of it is river. The Mississagi River proper out of the north end of Upper Bark Lake. Just a little section of it, like a little 200-meter section we'll be familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
How did we sleep last night, Cher?
I think I slept good once I fell asleep. The rain was making me a bit nervous, but eventually I just fell asleep, and it was nice.
I think we said yesterday we're still trying to perfect our sleep system. We were dry as a bone last night, so even with that howling wind, we set the tarp up just nice for it, used our canoe as one of the anchor points. Desperate times, ladies and gentlemen. What part are you looking forward to most about today, about the route today?
I don't know. Paddling?
Okay. All right. Not portaging?
No. No, we're done portaging.
We're not done portaging. When she says we're done portaging, she means I'm done portaging. Meaning Jay's taking all the gear and Cheryl walk slowly. Cool. Any thoughts?
No.
Okay. I think quinoa's packed with fiber. We start on Limit Lake, quick little portage, 60 meters around rapids into Kettle Lake, and then down through, staying on the north side of this island, and then a little 20-meter port. We're on some river here, and then we get to Upper Bark Lake, all the way down until we get to here, and then we do a 500-meter port into a pond, and then another 100-meter port to that lodge that Cher and we've been to already on Upper Bark Lake, where Grey Owl's old cabin was. And then we have river travel to here, little port around probably some heavy-duty rapids, and then some more river, stay left here, and then some more river. So this should be relatively quick travel. Another port around some big rapids, and then some more rapids here, but we could be able to run some of these. We don't know. And then our third campsite should be right there. That's the plan, Stan. So we're just about to head out. I was smelling smoke, and as you saw with the sunrise this morning, it was sort of an orange haze. And what that tells us is that it's likely wildfires. And now I'm smelling, you smell that?
Yeah.
Yeah, old campfire smell. So there's wildfires up here. It's early for wildfires. It's May 12th, which is pretty early for wildfire season, but it is already up here. So you'll see there's a haze, and that is our southeast. I don't think there's anything anywhere near us, but we saw a helicopter the other day flying in this direction. So we'll use our Zolio device to make sure from our friends that there's no wildfires imminently close to us, but I think we're safe. Off we get. Oh, this is my kind of data paddle, dude. Let's just hope it stays. These seem pretty tame. So we're just about to enter Upper Bark Lake, and where we're reasonably certain we're going to catch some of the wind that we've been avoiding by being on the river so far, but hopefully it's not too bad. And we are ready for a portage, aren't we, Cher?
Yeah. Spice it up a bit.
Spice it up. I'm doing that with a fucking 7-pound pack on your back. There's way more down there. There's 2 more huge blowdowns right there. So, double carry, babe. I'll just come back for the canoe.
Wet boots. Oh, wet boots. Wet boots.
So, just last year, or just 1 year ago, we did the Diablo portage in a single carry with similar weight on us, and that portage rivaled it in how hard I had to work. Between all the blowdown, having to either make the trail again, or B, skirt around the huge blowdown that there was no way you could possibly clear it with a silky saw. And then the bog in the middle, that we were both like, well, I guess we're getting wet feet. So I was up to my knees and with the pack and the boat on. I was like, yeah, okay, I guess it's sunny out. So hopefully by the time we get to camp, we can dry out our feet. For those of you who are doing this portage, 500 meters, is hard work.
Hard work.
Like this shadfly hatch can be a little bit off-putting, but it's actually something pretty special to be a part of. We're just here minding our own business, and the circle of life is happening in full force right here. It's pretty cool. I've never seen it like this before.
There's so many.
There's one on the camera. Pretty amazing.
One on your beard.
They're everywhere. Can you guys get a room?
I don't want it. Gray Owl's cabin.
Here at the Outpost Lodge, where it's owned by a private company now, but it's said that Gray Owl used to stay at this cabin. But yeah, the cabin seems to be in pretty obviously disrepair. Private company doesn't give a hoot about what happens to some old cabin. But there's a lot of engraved names on there I saw dating back to the 40s. It's kind of neat. This is such a gorgeous spot. Those of you who follow the channel, you'll know that Sherry and I were up here 2 falls ago to do the Bark Lake Loop, and we came up this far. We said one day we'll be heading down that river there, which is the Mississagi, and here we are doing it. That looks so inviting, especially with that mist. We don't have time to do it this time, but when we do, I'd love to explore that. So we are people of our word. Take it nice and slow. We don't know what's around this bend. We're good, baby. We're good. That cedar tree is around this bend. Right? So paddle hard. Paddle hard. So you know you're running in high water when the islands are submerged. So we've got a 70-meter portage. 70 meter usually means it's a pretty quick drop off, but the top looks pretty innocuous. But Sharon and I are gonna take a look. Yeah, that's a portage. One more last push, babe. So there's no portage around this, but it's pretty serious. This is the bottom, and it's big wave trains, like handleable, but good size. Those are probably 18-inch waves. So not a big deal. We're going to stay on the left side, and I'll show you the top, the reason why we have to stay on the left side. But on the far side, river left, and then we're going to kind of try to move across to avoid that and then that rock. But doable. we don't really have a choice. And this will kind of show you why we have to go with river left, which is on the back side of this. Because what's on river right, there's two tongues. River right brings you right into this. That standing wave, we don't love that. That's like this and that could suck us in or tip us. So we stay left until just below here, and then we can work our way right. Best laid plans. This rapid scared the shit out of a bear. This one is sketchy. So this turns out to be on the left what we thought, because it sounds intense, to be Split Rock Falls. It's not. It's the 70 on the left that we thought should have been the last big rapid, but it turns out not to be anything. This one's really intense, not runnable at this time of year, and it's also, well, the takeout was super treacherous, straight uphill. And then the put-in is still in the rapid. So there's an alternate trail, very faint. I just cleared it, so. Yeah, we're not quite done yet, friends. It's just Blowdown City in here, but which makes for a tough portage. But I'd rather that than try to run a class 3 rapid. And this is a little more safe as a put-in, although it's pretty overgrown too. We're here in paddle hard. Nice. Nice, great. Ooh, we got some water there. There we go, we cooled off a bit. It's for something not marked. So, we're getting tired. We definitely have had too much sun. The black flies, oh boy, are they here today. Like literally just today when we got to the moving water. So yeah, we just can't wait to make camp. But it's such a gorgeous, beautiful day. There's nothing to complain about there. Nicely done, baby. Okay, pals, we think we found Split Rock Falls and our campsite for the evening. The falls are far too high flow for our skill level. We weren't going to run them anyway, so we might as well just bring our stuff up. It's got a nice little tent pad. It's got a beautiful view of the falls. It also has a huge blowdown here that we have to clean up before we can set up camp. But it's got a nice fire pit overlooking the river. What do you think, Cher?
We're happy. That was a big day.
So we literally today just saw the arrival black fly season. So here we are. We looked at each other and took our bug jackets out of the pack to save a bit of weight. Whoops.
We'll be fine.
But I'll tell you what happened. I was panicking, trying to set up camp and get the fire started and all that stuff. And I was panicking about how bad the mosquitoes were. As soon as I lit the fire, thank goodness it was like night and day. So today was a long day. We got 32 or 33 kilometers in. That was about 9 hours all told.
We took an extra portage, so that cost us a bit of time that we could have ran, but that's okay, the sun is out. It's not raining. We found camp. We're good.
Yeah, we're at this glorious campsite at Split Rock Falls that just overlooks this beautiful rock and this rushing water. I'm sure it's beautiful at summertime levels, but right now it is breathtaking. So this deep into Mississagi River country, and we're 3 full days in, things are starting to slow down a little bit for us. I'm finding it easier to be present and be in the rhythm. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. We're going to start with more whitewater until we reach a section that I'm really looking forward to, which is sort of a swampy section. I was before the black flies. Oh dear. There's a sort of a swamp section that I'm sure is just teeming with waterfowl and possibly large mammals. So I'll put up with the bugs to have some of those encounters. Good morning, everyone. It's a little bit smoky over here, but we're keeping the black flies down. So we had a beautiful night last night with clear skies. Poked my head out the tent and it was gorgeous starry skies with half moon just setting over here. And it got nice and chilly, which we love because it keeps the bugs down and it keeps us snuggled up tight. We have a pretty good sized day ahead of us today, like yesterday, but hopefully a little bit easier just because we're going to be going with more flow.
Go with the flow.
Should always go with the flow, bro. I was thinking too last night, we passed by like some roads, four-wheeler tracks and things like that. We know that there's not much for remote wilderness.
Although yesterday when we were paddling through, it felt that way at times. But no, it's not remote.
There's people that get here via four-wheeler or side-by-side, and then they'll just park their boat in. Often they'll bring a flat-back canoe or something with a 9-horse motor and torque around and do their thing, and that's all well and good, but even if it's not remote wilderness, we've worked our tails off now for 3 full days to get right here to Split Rock Rapids. And so that's why we don't leave bush light cans or aluminum in the fire, because we've worked so hard and it gives us an appreciation for the area and for the land itself. Whereas maybe it's not really someone's fault, but if you didn't have to work hard to get to this beautiful wild place, because it is still wild, you don't have to work very hard, you don't have to appreciate it as much. Anyway, we need to get some sunscreen, and we didn't bring any sunscreen.
No, we unpacked our sunscreen and our bug cream to lighten our load.
In hindsight, those might have been foolhardy decisions to make, but the land gives back. I know for a fact that young aspen trees, poplar trees, have this fine white powder dust on them that acts as a great natural sunscreen agent. I think we'll be okay. The land takes care of you. Bye-bye, Split Rock Falls. Gorgeous campsite. What the poplar trees can't give you, literally just the side of a portage maybe can. just 1 hour in, and we are through Hellgate Falls and Rapids. On to the next. It's another one of these interesting ones. It's 180 meter. Portage sign was pretty blocked, but it's wet in here, and it's pretty bushy. So we're at least going to try to take our packs through and scout it, because I'm not sure how the heck I'm getting the canoe through this. But let's see. So that bottom section again is like potentially runnable in certain conditions, but it's the middle section that basically was like, okay, that's a no-go. It's probably tough to see, but it's really high flow through here, and there's no real way around it. And then there's a sluice hole right at the bottom, and it's just plowing through to the next. No time to catch your breath, just feature after feature at like twice the flow of summer, maybe more. It's just not something we want to take our chances on halfway through a 10-day trip when it's just us out here. We don't have somebody at the bottom with a throw bag. So we're portaging again. We were hoping to run some of these portages that were listed, but just with the high water, it's just not happening. It's not safe. I would submit that it wouldn't be safe for just about anybody to run, but certainly not for us. So we portage. Cher just said, oh, look at how cute it looks. It's like, yeah, this section here, happy to run it. It's a pretty good drop, but there's big pillar rocks on the right, so we're going to stay left. I know, baby, just to stay left. Okay, draw, baby. Good. Nicely done, baby. Nicely done. Sweet job, babe. So the first two there, we ran into this series of rapids. The trip report, or the map we have, says 2 rapids, but it turned out to be 2 rapids and a pretty heavy-duty swift, because we portaged our bags past, and then by the time we realized, oh man, this last thing we could totally just run, we just portaged only around the first 2, and then we ran the last rapid. It was nice to get some moving water to run, and then yeah, now we should be portage free for the day, maybe 2 days. We don't mind portaging. What'd you call it there, Cher? Spice it up? Spice it up with a portage. It's only 11. We've been going for less than 3 hours. We're in good shape. We're just going to have a quiet paddle down the Mississagi. Let's go back to the other side, obviously. Oh. Nice. Okay, another little set coming up. This one looks like it's pretty simple too, babe. Okay, paddle hard to get left. Yeah. Okay, paddle hard. Nice, babe. Good. Nice job. That swamped me a little bit there. We're all right. Just an update here. So it's just about, well, it's 1:45. We just pulled over to have some lunch at, I don't know what the heck you could call this. It's like a boat launch slash trash dump slash, I don't know. It's tough to say, but
We were hoping it was a campsite, but, or like not for camping, but it was, there's a couple marked on the map, so we were thinking it was a campsite, but I don't think I would camp here.
no, you'd have to be pretty desperate. Lots of bugs though. Black flies are here.
Yeah.
Like a lot, as you can see. But yeah, so we're making really good progress. Our next major point of interest would be the Abinet River confluence with the Mississagi. And then we've got, you know, some paddling to do westward. And our goal is to get to Rocky Island Lake for the end of the day today. So that all we have to do is paddle across Rocky Island and Aubrey tomorrow. That's the plan. We've come to the confluence with the Abinet River, just like that. So there's the Abinet. It joins in, there's Sherry with the Mississagi, and we go that way, westward. So paddling down this lovely stretch of the Mississagi, we're quickly approaching Rocky Island Lake, and the riverbanks are lined with these absolutely majestic, arrow straight, tall spruce, jack pine, and it's just majestic, and we are loving it.
Hi all.
So we found camp just at the very beginning of Rocky Island Lake after a decent day of paddling, maybe 7 hours and a bit. So we're still on track for our scheduled achievements, so that's good. And we had another beautiful day of paddling through the lovely majestic marsh, I think it's called.
Yeah, it was pretty nice in there.
Yeah, absolutely. And so now we've got to get camp set up. And we've got a few hours worth of sunlight still left, as you can see. We're going to get a beautiful sunrise over that way in the morning. So I think we came into a really nice site here.
Yay!
The best fight against black flies is a smoky little fire. Thank goodness for this.
The campsite is perfect.
Just what we wanted, right?
Yeah, it looked a bit small at first, but when we got closer, we saw the camp sign and we took a quick look, and it's actually perfect. It's 3 levels up and right on the water and in the sunshine.
And the wind.
Yes, well, that's been our day.
But that's okay because it's keeping the black flies away.
Sort of. I can see them swarming around you.
It's not keeping these ones away, but the rest of them it's keeping away.
Yeah. We have frogs.
Yeah.
Bullfrogs.
We have at least one bullfrog. There's a little, I'll give you a tour, but there's a little sort of inlet in behind there where the bullfrog is croaking. So this is the access for the canoe, which is beautiful. This is the access all around. It goes down, you can't see the bottom, so it's probably, whatever, 20 feet deep. This was awaiting us when we got here. It's pretty punky old wood, but it's dry enough, so we're just keeping a small fire, as usual. But see, there's terraces all the way up, and then this beautiful little tent pad, snuggled and just covered. This whole area is covered in jack pine, which is our favorite softwood tree. And this is our view. You do a lot worse than that. And there's a bald eagle that's flying around. I'm trying to get footage of him. We'll see. What's for dinner, Cher?
Bread and butter chicken with rice.
Homemade butter chicken, shredded. Mmm. So, so good. So a lot of folks we know, especially on longer trips, like to carry a barrel for their food. We get the concept to keep everything sort of safe and protected when you're smashing around a canoe trip. But for us, most of our food is all of our food is dehydrated. So we just carry a food bag. So this 30-liter dry sack acts as our 10 days of storage for our food. And it works really great. It fits neatly inside Sherry's pack along with a few other items. So yeah, it serves our purposes better than any barrel would, and we can carry it on our back.
I'm going to work on getting it smaller and lighter.
I'm not sure if she's talking about me or the bag. And better looking, Sherry?
So we're on our campsite and we're just cleaning up our gear, getting ready to turn in. And I spotted chaga. Very cool. We're not going to take any as we have lots at home, but
Quite the morning, eh? Sure, well, it still is quite the morning. Got up just before sunrise. We hear, so just from our tent, sleeping or drowsing, the white-throated sparrow, the ruby-crowned kinglet, telling Sherry she's pretty, 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 pretty. As you do, that's the way to get a lady out of bed. Or get her into bed. I don't know how. Anyway, it's just a magical time to be alive.
that's pretty cool. That's why they call it the majestic marsh, I think.
Yeah, that's a pretty safe bet. So today will be the last day of traveling in unfamiliar for us. With uncertainty or unknown comes with it a certain amount of like energy expense, right? Stress of like not really knowing, humans want to have everything in a box. And I think
Get in a box.
get in a box trip. There's still certainly unknowns and uncertainties with the trip, but at least we will be familiar with the terrain.
Can't open my eyes.
I know, it's so bright.
You set the sun right in my face. Set the camera right.
I didn't put the sun there.
Or it's hitting the water.
Oh. Tarp set up there, eh? quick update, pals. So we stopped for a little stretch because there's not much portaging today, but we still need to stretch our legs so we don't seize up. And we're on this beautiful island site, this rocky island site on Rocky Island Lake. And it's gorgeous. I'm going to show you our progress so far. So we started here right at the very end here of this map on Majestic Marsh. We came through, we saw osprey, bald eagle, and then we came over here and saw moose in here grazing on some shoots. And then we came all the way and we're here on this island site. So we've got to continue along through these narrows and then through this series of islands and another narrows, and then we come to the dam, and then we have to go from there all the way through to Aubrey Falls, which will be a beautiful sight. And then we're back on the river again. Some familiarity. What do you say about that, Cher? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we'll check back in with you maybe at the dam, maybe before the dam. See you soon. Finally arrived to the first dam, the first section of the Mississagi River to be dammed here on Rocky Island Lake. But we are finally here after, 5 hours of paddling. So Cher and I are just marveling at the size of these logs.
They're massive.
Some of them have to be 3 feet, like specifically this one. It's got to be 3 feet in diameter. They're massive. It kind of makes us sad, so we're trying not to be too cynical. And we're big logs. So we got Sherry loaded up here. She got our new Ostrom Outdoors 110 liter Winnisk pack loaded up on her. That's about as full as you're going to get one of these packs. And she's got her no problem. She's got her no problem, this lady. Boom! And we got about a 700 meter port. Should be pretty easy. It looks to be on like a road. Way to go, Cher. Okay, pals. So we are here at the Aubrey Falls Dam generating station, the dam generating station, and we're just trying to figure out how to access the river. Our guidebooks are a little bit out of date, or our maps are a bit out of date in terms of what direction to go and how the footpath leads to where. So we're not quite sure, but we're on the right track. And then we'll figure it out and get back to you. But it's still a beautiful day, and we made it in just under 7 hours. We paddled the entirety of Rocky Island Lake and Aubrey Lake. And we're still alive.
We're still here. Yay!
Alive and cooking, like actual.
Still moving.
Yep, I don't know if we can sleep here.
No.
We'll see. Okay, I think we found it. I'll let you go first, Bay. Just keep going. If there's anything treacherous, just let me know. Oh, blowdowns, eh? Par for the course, my love. I saw that. What are you doing? Thank goodness for the dry weather we've had the last couple of days. The ground isn't giving out beneath our feet here. I feel like it goes left, yeah. We're going to be down there putting in to line through all this out to the main channel that you can just kind of see there. Hopefully, that's the plan. So we are exhausted. We've just spent an hour and a half trying to figure out how the hell to get out of Aubrey Falls.
There's footpaths everywhere. The signage is not good, and we found our way close to where we thought, and then we ended up in the parking lot. So we had to come all the way back after talking to a couple of parks fellows.
Who really didn't know what they were doing either, but they were very helpful trying to figure out how to get us on the right track. So anyway, we've probably gone 5K with our packs on our back. We dropped our canoe on this side of the gorge. We have to cross the gorge still with our canoe, come across all the way up here and then down to this footpath and then across it back again. So crossing the river gorge twice. That's how canoeists have to do this. And then back down and down here. So we're going to do it. These are just challenges, are just basically opportunities to get a win. And here's a big W coming right up.
Yeah. Go left. Okay, so this is the footpath, and this is the trail, marked clearly. Not. It's pretty steep too. And there we are.
Okay, after, I'm going to say the toughest portage on the trip for sure, with the most pointless doubling back and all the fun things, we just lined poor Red down a really bony section. It used to be a big waterway. We are back on the Mississagi, ladies and gentlemen. So, yippee! We're just a couple of kilometers up from Highway 129, where we expect we'll have another portage because there's a pretty heavy-duty rapid there. I mean, the water is really low here right now, so this is actually making me worry about our big plans that we had for bombing down and doing all the rapids in quick succession, because I don't know how high the river is, but if this is any indication, it was a lot higher than that when we came through here 5 days ago. So cross our fingers, buddies and pals and chums. Yeah, out here they will. Okay, so it turns out we have one more port before we're on to the lower section of the mighty Mississagi, a section that we are familiar with, where we can't wait to do this one more portage. I am sapped and sunburnt, and my lips are like burnt to a crisp. Yours are pretty burnt too.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Sunshine.
What do you guys think? Did we ask for sunshine, and are we ruining what we wished for here? Possibly. We're just going to try to find a spot that is inviting enough. We don't need anything fancy. The trouble is with these dam-controlled water levels, this is actually a lot lower than we thought it would be. It's a lot lower than when we drove by this a week ago, not even a week ago. But you've got to keep at least 6 feet above water level, just in case the level changes, and it does change that much without warning. So we've got to keep that into consideration and do our best to find a place sooner than later. Okay, good luck. That look large enough to be a tent pad, babe? Hey? No. Okay. We found a spot just in behind some cedars up above, and Cher's got the tent all set. I got a little fire pit made, brought the canoe up so that it's well above the water line, which is down there. So in our haste, we just sort of threw the tent up where the flattest spot was and didn't notice this literal deadhead aimed right at our tent. So it's a cedar. So Cher and I shouldn't have much trouble moving it without hurting anything. But yeah, hilarious what happens when you're in a hurry. It's actually magical outside right now. So we're going to cook up some dinner and start a fire to get rid of these black flies. And we'll be back at you when we can. Hey guys.
No.
So it's just after 9. It's pretty dark. The sun sets around 10 to 9 or something these days up here. But it set on this site about an hour ago. But we're settled in. Have a little fire here on the beach. We have an OTG meal. Rehydrating right now. And we're just debriefing the day. That was a long day.
That was a long day. We weren't planning on it being that long.
No, that portage at Aubrey Falls was a fiasco, and I'm glad it's behind us. But we're a little bit disappointed to see how low the water levels are here on the Mississagi. But the time will tell. Tomorrow when we have a bunch of rapids we were going to run, see how bony they are. And
well, your rock is buried.
Yeah, the water's already coming up.
Water's coming up.
There you go. The water's up. Actually, water's up 2 inches in the last 10 minutes. Anyway, yeah, we're going to eat and be hasty for bed. shelf here, we're good. Whoa, whoa, what are you doing? So we want to move left now. Perfect. Nice. You're out to see those things louder, but I get it, babe. Nice rapid, first rapid of the day. So we are onto the rapids. We're starting on the south side of the Highway 129 of Aubrey Falls, and there's a lot of sections here with a fairly good stretch of continuous rapids, which we just love to run. And so we were hoping for higher water to really bomb through them, but these are going to be a little bit more technical, but it's still going to be a good time. This should just be free flow right through. So we can see the big boulder. Okay, go to the left of it. So if we just stay on the left side of this wave train, we should be good, babe. Yeah. There you go, perfect. Just on the left edge so we don't get all soaked. Nice, perfect. Confluence of the West Abinadong River, which kind of all ties in to the Mississagi system. There's another outlet here into the Great Mississagi River. For those of you who watch the channel, you might have seen our Ranger Lake Loop video, and we spend a fair bit of time going upstream on that West Abinadong. It's a beautiful river. Through here, and yet again the river changes character, and we've got a series of really nice rapids just coming up ahead. So once again the Mississagi changes face. How was that, baby? Those sets of rapids?
That was fun.
Lots of fun, eh?
Yeah, they were big.
Yeah, the water is high, so we were worried that the water was low because it was low at camp. But again, it's regulated by the power company, and so they've dumped a ton of water. You can just see by the banks. There's no open space between where the grass levels out and the water, so they've dumped a ton of water into the river. So we're going to have ourselves a time going down here, friends. This is good news. Caution, fast-moving water ahead. Okay, I'll turn this and you go that hard. There you go. See, we got waves coming from the side, right? So we gotta watch our gunnels. Holy! Couple of big ones. There we go. Oh, you got her there. You got a little moist there. this black fly season.
But we miss our bug jackets.
But we miss our bug jackets.
What are you doing, babe? Hey, you can't bail on me now.
So we really seriously considered running this. We've run it before, obviously in lower water, but just it's so pushy right now. You'd have to run this tongue absolutely perfect. If you miss it to the right, you're sluiced and you're swamped immediately. You'd have to run it exactly right, about 3 feet from that big rock. And even then you're gonna get a bunch of water in for sure, because the bow is gonna sink. And then you gotta stay upright for the rest. So although it's runnable, probably, certainly by folks out of our skill range, but even by us maybe, we still have 100 kilometers on our trip, and we just don't feel like making our lives any harder.
No, I think we made the right choice.
Wow, they haven't filled in. Almost looks surreal. We're just coming up on 60 kilometers for the day. We have a campsite in mind that we're trying to make it to. It should be not far away, only a couple more kilometers. He's cheering for us.
So we're coming around a bend and there's still snow along the shore. Amazing.
All right, pals. So we're a little bit sunburned. Your face is pretty red for sure. Oh my gosh. And your lip.
Oh, I put sunscreen.
So we're a little bit sunburned. We're a lot tired and a little bit sore, maybe a lot sore. But we had a really fun day on the fast-moving water of the Mississagi River. And Cher and I had a sort of plan in mind about this site that we vaguely remember just before what they call the Grow Cap, which you're going to love. We're going to see that tomorrow. Between Snowshoe Creek and the Grow Cap, there's this vague sort of hazy memory we have of this site. But I didn't want to commit. Cher did.
I'm a little stubborn.
A bit stubborn, but we found this site. It is absolutely breathtaking. It's got this beautiful rocky outcrop and it overlooks the river. And then just around the corner is what's called the Grow Cap. And it's got a beautiful spot for tent pad. We can even hang our ridge line. We're expecting possibly a bit of rain tonight. A lot of open area for the wind to catch us so that the black flies can take off. Hosers. But yeah, I think we're ready to get back to work again, of course, because that's what camping is. Back to work. pals. We were so caught up swatting flies, trying to take pictures of birds, and eating dinner that we forgot to tell you what we had. So Sherry, before we left, made this beautiful chicken with scallop potatoes, and then we dehydrated them. And I say we, I mean she dehydrated them. We just rehydrated them.
Looks gross.
And we say it doesn't look, I mean, it never looks amazing, but it tastes so good. And especially after 6 days out here, it just tastes absolutely phenomenal. And we're just drinking in these views. And we're going to have a cafe mocha to also drink in with the views.
Yay. It's great. Day 6 is nice. I kind of feel like I'm on vacation for real now. We're kind of going down, doing some rapids, had a fun day. Yeah, just enjoying the river. We've had good weather so far.
In the last few days, we've had the most phenomenal weather. It's amazing. And we've got rain in the forecast, but that's to be expected. We're just hoping it's not torrential rain so it doesn't stop our travel. But yeah, everything's going well. Good morning, friends.
Morning.
It is day 7. We're here on the Mississagi River. This misty, beautiful morning. Our forecast called for light rain overnight. It was beyond light rain, but
It lit up the skies.
we had a lightning storm, thunder and lightning storm, and it was really close, like lightning and then immediate thunder. So we were right in the eye of the sucker, and yeah, we got inundated. But it was okay. We stayed pretty dry. Again, we've got our system pretty well perfected now. So we stayed dry. I don't know what she's laughing at. It's perfect, perfectly imperfect. We are just kind of waiting for the fog to dissipate. We've been up for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
We got up before 6 a.m. and it was a gorgeous sunrise this morning over the mist. But the mist is really taking its time. And because this is kind of big water we're headed into, we want to make sure we can see shorelines and stuff like that. And we also want to make sure we can see the grow cap, which we can see right now. So we're heading into the third of the man-made lakes here on the Mississagi River, called Tunnel Lake. We cross a dam probably around lunchtime. And then we're going to head down and through this lovely little meandering part of the Mississagi with high banks and very quiet, hopefully some wildlife. Our destination today is the 4th man-made lake on the Mississagi River, which is called Red Rock Lake. And there's a nice campsite there that we'd like to spend the night on. So that's our destination, and we're hoping that the weather cooperates and we don't get rained on too much.
No, I hope the weather holds out for us. I remember this river, so I hope we enjoy the meandering of it, and I think we'll get to our site with lots of time today. So that will be nice to dry out some stuff.
Yeah, it's a 40-kilometer day, which sounds like a lot, especially when a lot of it is flat water, and even the river parts are slow. There's not a lot of current, but 40 kilometers is like breakfast for us. Mm-hmm. We'll see you soon. the main body of Tunnel Lake right now, and we've been blessed with yet another gorgeous day for traveling. It's partly cloudy, but every now and again the sun comes out and blesses us with its warmth, and it's actually quite warm today. There's quite a haze on the lake. It's almost like a midsummer day. I think it's got to be 20 degrees, which is crazy. I think it's May 16th. I'm used to saying early May, but we've been out for over a week, so it's mid-May now. The headwind that we're used to is actually quite tame today. It's just enough to keep the bugs off us. So again, we're just blessed with another beautiful travel day. We're just coming up to the Rainer Dam, which has a pretty steep 900-meter portage around it, and we're back on the river. But we've still got another 45 minutes worth of paddling yet to do. So as Cher and I just finished up this paddle on Tunnel Lake, we're into this last section right before the dam that, as we understand it, this is why the lake is called Tunnel Lake, this is the tunnel. And it is windy, the wind has picked up quite a bit here. But if you can imagine, we're just trying to imagine this sort of narrowed passage here before the dam, when it was just a river running through here, maybe 100 feet lower, and these, what would have been cliffs, now it's just sort of hills all surrounding you. That would have been super cool. I wonder if any photos or anything of that exists from that time before the Rainer Dam was erected. We shall look into it. Skid plate.
Okay, I'm good. I just slipped on a rock with Jay's big pack. But I'm up and we're good. Back we go to the trail. Slippery in here.
Like swallows, eh, babe? Listen to them all. So Cher and I just pulled over to this shore here. We had a stowaway, we think possibly from this morning's campsite. We managed to corral it in a rolled up piece of paper and stow it back on shore here. Hopefully familiar terrain, if not familiar territory. But we're here on the next section of the Mississagi River that takes on even yet another character. This is a flat and very meandering section of the river. It widens out a fair bit. And in yet another change of character, the Mississagi becomes once again a marshy wetland before emptying into Red Rock Lake, which is the fourth and final man-made lake on the Mississagi River. And that's our destination for tonight. We are going to camp here before finishing up our journey tomorrow. put it right on top.
Yeah.
You don't care. Hey pals, so hopefully you can hear us. The wind is howling, but we love it because it's the only thing keeping us sane from these crazy, crazy black flies.
Yeah.
But we've built a smoky little fire here out on the point so as to be fire safe. We're literally on a point. There's nothing downwind of us, but it's helping keep the bugs down. And
Yes,
also,
thank goodness.
what are we having for dinner tonight, Shira?
We're having chicken bacon pot pie with mashed potatoes and cheese. Yeah.
Chicken bacon pot pie and mashed potatoes with cheese. So yummy.
Pretty good.
We're carb loading because of the long days of paddling we've had.
Yeah, we're getting sore. We're seeing the end of the trip.
Yeah, the light is at the end of the tunnel. We're only 35 kilometers from Lake Huron, and then we're going to camp out on Lake Huron proper for one night.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, weather permitting. Just because we're a day ahead of schedule. We're actually 2 days ahead of schedule, but we're a day too much ahead of schedule. So we need to camp an extra day, and instead of staying here and taking our chances, we're going to go and make sure we make our destination.
We love the sun and we're blessed to have this weather, but it really wears you out. And it was just kind of an easy paddle today. So we amused ourselves with identifying bird calls.
We were super nerds today.
Yeah, there's a lot of songbirds in this section of the river.
You lose sight of it right when things get sort of humdrum, and it brings you back to go, okay, look, how much are we missing if we're just paddling mindlessly? Name that songbird, name that songbird. Oh, don't know that songbird. Things like that just help you to appreciate every little thing. So that was nice today.
Yeah, and we got to camp early, which was also nice. And we got to dry out our tent, get some reading in. So yeah, it's been a great day.
I marvel at the weather and the conditions that we've had. It's just been perfect. So it's too sunny. All right, we'll give you a nice headwind to keep the bugs down. Because if it weren't for that headwind, we would be murdered by black flies. And now deer flies have joined the game, and mosquitoes come at dusk. So we've hit peak bug season when we were aiming for zero bug season. But we've just had the finest conditions I could even imagine. Like this morning, we had a torrential downpour overnight. We wake up, just a beautiful, magic, misty morning. Bon appetit.
Well, you might as well just come in and then try and get them out after.
Yeah, they're gonna get in, or they're gonna kill me before I get in, maybe. We messed up. This is why you don't wear black when you go into your tent. This is inside of our tent. It's gonna be a long night. Good morning, campers.
Morning.
Here we are, the morning of day 8 on Red Rock Lake. You're going to see a ton of smoke and you're thinking, man, those guys don't know how to build a fire. Which is true, but this is completely intentional. When you don't have DEET, because you've intentionally left it at home, and you don't have bug jackets because you've intentionally left those at home, and it is peak mosquito and black fly season, you intentionally make a smoky fire. That's the best remedy for keeping them away.
It works.
It totally does work. And now we've kind of caught fire a little bit, so it's not as smoldery as before. But so I slept really, really well despite the at least 200 black flies. guys that were stuck in our tent last night. We both just mummied up, and I wasn't bothered by them really.
No, me either.
And it's super misty out, and it almost feels like rain all the time, like a really heavy, dense fog. But we know our way across this lake really well. It's a small lake, just out around a point and then into the dam and then a portage. And then when we're on the river, you don't really need to navigate far away because it's a river. You can only kind of go one way.
That's the plan.
Little spotted sandpipers piping the sand over there. Wish I had the camera to get him, to shoot him in the face with a camera.
Oh, he heard you.
It's how they fly. That is my favorite thing. I want to catch them flying on camera. Hopefully I can.
He heard you say you were going to shoot him.
With a camera, you little
Oh my God.
Not with a firearm or anything crazy like that.
I was just reading last night about Grey Owl and his decision to stop hunting beavers.
Mm.
How they had been decimated within 100,000 square miles in Ontario alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the population has made a pretty big comeback for sure, but yeah, they almost eradicated the beaver completely.
Yeah.
Commerce. So we are paddling into this. It looks just like a wall of fog. The visibility is low. Again, this seems like it might be unsafe, and it would be on bigger water. We would never do this on big water. This is small lake that we're very familiar with. And we're just waiting on Sherry's right for a point to materialize through the fog, and we're just going around that point. As desolate as it looks out here, we're making calculated decisions here. So we made it off Red Rock Lake.
It was nice there, but we did it.
Looks like to me that we're in the final level of Resident Evil, the video game here. It's very eerie. Sherry doesn't like that, but it's very eerie. Dystopian looking and creepy with the mist. I don't know. Let me know what you think. So we have a relatively short, I think it's like under 400 meter portage. Back on Mississagi River, friends. We run into a couple of different parties. One party was fishing, nice couple, and another party was launching their boat on the Red Rock Lake, probably for the long weekend. It's May long weekend here in Canada. We have Victoria Day holiday. It's the third Monday of May. And that's the start of this weekend, and it's sort of the big weekend to signal the arrival of the nice weather for good. And so there's a sense of jubilance in the air. You can see it through the fog. So we are just about to Lake Huron. We have one more obstacle, and that is those falls back there. So sometimes with low water they might seem runnable, but they are definitely not runnable today. They are raging. So we're going to portage around them, and then we're only about 4 kilometers down from Lake Huron. The day has started to become beautiful. It's always been beautiful, but less inclement, let's say. You ready, Cher, for another portage? One last portage?
One last portage. Woo-hoo.
Yeah, he wasn't joking. There's a lot of current around this corner. There's a merganser saying hello. She was fishing.
Over 8 days, more than 300 kilometers, 31 portages, countless bumps, bruises, blisters, and bug bites. For 2 people, a trip that we shared on a river that we love.
Now, with a deeper understanding after having traveled its entire course together.
And if you love something,
You'll protect it. Finished up the trip here. We're at Huron Pines Golf Course with our shuttle driver, part-time guide, Mike Allen. Thanks so much, Mike, for picking us up and giving us some tips on this trip.
yeah, amazing input.
Great trip.
And for bringing the beautiful weather for us. Obviously, that was you.
No, it was you guys. Glad you enjoyed yourselves.
We sure did. Thanks so much.